Welcome in right here on Coach and Company. It's game night. It is Monday Night Grind. I am Mike Pendleton sitting in for the coach. We've got the Giants and the Patriots, a good old fashioned rivalry, which can only mean one thing. Big Tommy C is here. Raphael is here. We are not on stadium. I don't know where this show is going, so buckle up. Get your pen and your paper. I think we're going to take notes on our best bets, but we're in to have a hell of a lot of fun over the next 60 minutes. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it as we prepare for the end of week 13 between the Patriots and Giants. Let's kick it off. Gentlemen. Tommy, I see you all decked out in Giants blue. How are you tonight, sir?
Game day, guys. Game day. This is going to be a good game tonight. I have a feeling my Giants are going to play some good ball. I can't wait for this game tonight. What's up, Raph?
Nothing is up. As we were speaking, the total's moving. A bunch of 47s an hour are popping up. So I guess people love the favorite and over or your dog and over. But I think we're going to see a lot of points. So when there's points, it's always a good game.
Raphael, thank you so much for hurrying to your home to get here and join us tonight. I know you were traveling over the weekend. How was your weekend?
It was fun slash stressful. So it's just you have fun, you remember the good times, but then the bad times just smack you in the face.
Sounds like a holiday weekend. You know what you guys did do though? You didn't let the Thanksgiving holiday get in the way. You didn't let anything stop you from being here, right now, tonight. And you all sent in picks and plays. So we've got Boomer Buster coming up. We've got Ball Don't Lie coming up. Who's going to get into the Legends Lounge? We will find out what the guys have and who the guys have. Even Coach, who couldn't be here tonight, he has a pick. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into our best bets tonight. Tommy, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. What do you got tonight?
All right, guys. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I'm taking the Giants pass over total 46 and a half minus 112. A big Tommy C fact right here. Each of the last four Patriots home games against NFC opponents have gone over the total points line. And now it's I got it at 46 and a half. I think Rafi might have it a little higher. And my second best bet is Stephon Diggs receiving yards 50 plus minus 117. Diggs has recorded 50 plus receiving yards in 7 of his last Monday night appearances. And against that Giants Swiss cheese secondary, he could do this in the first quarter, guys. I hate crapping on my team, but their secondary is just horrible.
Raphael, what do you got?
First, I want to take the Giants, Patriots. Both teams to score 20 plus points at plus 120. Little shocked at this number just because I'm getting really good plus money. The New York Giants have scored 20 points or more in 7 straight games. I mean, their offense has been clicking. They score a lot of points, especially through the run game and at the red zone. And the Patriots, 9 straight games. So why is this number giving me plus 120 when I think we all could agree we could see a lot of points scored? That's why the books just moved it to 47. A little bit shocked at this money line. And then give me Trayvon Henderson over 82 and a half rushing and receiving yards. This was a little tricky because his rushing average is anywhere between 65 and a half to 67 and a half. Right now, it opened up at 69 and a half. People are betting it down. But I think he has a big game on both ground and through the air. He's hit the receiving yards things 3 out of 4 last games. I think he has a big game. And if they have a big lead, they're going to pound him the ball to make the clock. So I think this number is just a little bit low. I thought it would be like around 87, 88 and a half. So I love the value at 82 and a half.
I also love the value. And very quickly, before I give out my plays, do you guys know, I don't know how many Patriots games you guys are watching, but you speak about Trayvon Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State. Do you guys know that he and Stephon Diggs have like shrunken down nameplates on their jersey? So when Coach told me that, I was sitting in the host seat, I was like, I got to figure, I want to bring this up and I got to figure out why. Apparently, these guys want to show the stripes on their jersey fully. So they have to decrease the nameplate size. I feel like it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen when it comes to NFL jerseys. Rafael, do you know the nameplate that I'm talking about with how small Henderson is on the back of his jersey?
Heard something, not that his lettering is a little bit smaller than everyone else. I didn't click it just because it's a name with Jersey. I thought it was maybe clickbait and they were just looking for likes and love, so I didn't read the article.
Yeah, Tommy, I know you know the difference. I know size matters in Big Tommy C's life. So
Boy, that is some information you're giving me. That wasted 5 minutes of my life here, Mikey, figuring out the nameplate.
what you
I
know
didn't
what? Hey,
I didn't notice it though. Now that you bring it up, I will check it out tonight.
yeah, and I wanted to have a picture of it. I did not have it ready before we kicked off today's show, but
That's right.
it's just something that bothers me because you see all these big guys, all these NFL players, and you could read the back of their jersey, and then he's on the field. You're like, who the hell is that? Oh, okay, it's him. All right. Anyways, moving on, because I don't want to waste any more of Tommy C's time. Tommy, you're not going to like these picks anyway, so buckle up, my friend. Give me the Patriots -4.5 on the first half line. I think the Patriots are going to get out to a very fast start. I think they're going to get off to a hot start. I think we're going to see a lot of points in this game. So I do agree with Tommy on that. So give me the Patriots at least -4.5. I think they'll be up by a touchdown, if not double digits at halftime. But they're going to have to use Jackson Dart. And this to me feels like a very low number. So I took Jackson Dart at 238 pass and rushing yards at a -115. He is literally their entire offense. No Cam Scatterboot, no Malik Neighbors. I know Wan'Dale Robinson is on the field for them, but Jackson Dart changes this offense, and everything's going to go through him tonight. So I like him to hit that line. And as much as I love Travion Small Plate Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson is still a Mike Vrabel guy. And at +210, I will take him on an anytime touchdown score. And you guys know it's already your favorite time of the night. You guys already know this is the best part of the Monday Night Grind picks. How about Drake's Mayday Payday Parlay? That's you say that 5 times. Give me Drake May over 237.5 passing yards, over 20.5 pass completions, and over 1.5 passing touchdown. Altogether, it's only a +145. Rafael, your thoughts?
The one thing that scares me about this game reminds me of the Rams game on Sunday, where everyone was just giving them a W already, and the game has not kicked off. I can see the Giants making this a very, very stressful game. Don't forget, in 2023, the final score 10-7.
I think, hey, Mikey, I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. The Giants secondary, again, is Swiss cheese. They wilt at the end of the game. Now we'll see with the new defensive coordinator, the linebackers coach, see if he brings more of attacking at Drake May because he knows he's more of a pocket quarterback. I would love to see Abdul Carter go crazy tonight and just keep going at the quarterback. We'll see what happens, but I think it could be a high scoring game, and I think they're going to be very careful the way they handle Jackson Dart in the offense tonight.
It is very interesting because you have so many young playmakers on this Giants football team. Tommy, I'm going to stick with you here for a second before we get into the playmakers because we know that Brian Dable is gone and we can still hear you cheering and celebrating for that. And then the defensive coordinator also relieved of his duties, but no Kayvon Thibodeau for the Giants tonight. So now Abdul Carter does have that set opportunity to step up and show what he can do. Jackson Dart will have an opportunity to show what he can do under Mike Kafka. What, as a fan, do you want to see from these interim coaches with the young talent?
From the last game the Giants had, I actually like Kafka. I think he was held down being creative because he came up with some really creative plays in the last game the Giants played. And if I'm this linebackers coach, I'm having this an attacking defense. I want them rushing the passer every time. I want Dexter Lawrence to get off his fat ass and play a friggin' game. But they have that third round pick. They got the middle guy there, and I forgot his name right now, but he's really good in the middle of the field there. They got Burns on the other side. You just got to watch this secondary, man. If they're not all there tonight, they can get eaten up by Stephon Diggs and crew there. You got Henry there. You got all there's a lot of weapons on the Patriots team. So we'll see what happens. But if I'm Kafka, open up the playbook, man, throw down the field, and let's just see what happens.
And Rafael, I did want to just break this game down before we looked player by player first, because I think you're right in the terms of we shouldn't come into this game thinking it's just one-sided. By the way, thank you for letting me know you didn't watch the Sunday morning pregame show with Coach and I, because I called the Panthers were on track to win because it's been loss, win, and they got the dub. So let's look at it from your perspective on the Giants side. What do you think the Giants have to do in order to pull off the upset on Monday night?
I mean, I think when people look at the Giants, it just screams at them. They're 2-10. So you think they're just going to be blown out of games. Their last 3 games, they only lost by 7 points or more or less, 7-7-4. So it's not like they've been blowing out games. And they had the Lions, the wishful thinking, like, oh my God, we're going to lose this game. So they've been playing some good ball. And what did we hear all yesterday was a whole bunch of teams. We'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers with their when they got blown away on the rushing game with the bad offensive line, and with that offensive line stepped up and blew up the running back and blew up the Steelers defense. I think sometimes your Giants are saying, "Oh yes, our secondary Swiss cheese." People hear that. These players hear that, so I think they might want to step up. They're on national TV, Monday Night Football. Maybe these guys have a good game and keep this game really, really close.
Tommy, we know you move lines, but did you know they were listening to you as well?
No.
I mean, you got Dable fired, you got the D
Yes,
coordinator
yes,
fired. I mean,
yes.
the coaching company brand and the coaching bro and the BTT side. Listen, we're changing lives
Yep.
for better and for
I
worse.
think Tommy's the one that climbed the fence at the Survivor Series too. I
That
think that
was
was
me.
Tommy. It was
I gotta leave. I gotta go where Raw is tonight. I don't even know where Raw is, by the way.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yep. I'll be there.
I do know it's going to be epic because Triple H
Well,
said,
that's what according
Triple
to
H said
Triple
it's
H.
going to be epic. So
Everything's epic to Triple H after that shit show he put on Saturday, which was terrible, by the way.
it
But we
was
won't
terrible.
get into that.
We won't. But I do want to ask, as we get ready to transition over to our player by player breakdown, really quickly, Raphael, one for you, and then Tommy, because you're the Giants fan. I'll save them for you, Raphael. We've seen the line movement all year with Drake May at quarterback for the Patriots and an MVP candidate. Do the Patriots, in your mind, have their franchise guy for the next 10 years, or is he just enjoying a good second season?
Ooh, 10 years is a long. And this is the NFL. You can't say 10 years. I would say they have their next quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years because injuries and bad offensive line. It can expose a good quarterback. We've seen that year after year. I would say good. They have their franchise quarterback for the 2 to 3 years. I can't do 10.
Tommy, do your Giants have their franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart?
Oof, that's a good question.
I think you got to give it another year. I mean, he's only played a couple games here. Yes, I do. I think so. He has a lot of star quality. He's a go-getter. He's a gamer. He'll do anything. As you see, he's already run too much. He's already got had a concussion and stuff like that. I think we got to tie that down a little bit. I think with a good offensive guy coming at him, whoever that coach could be, and it could be Kafka, because I think Kafka's pretty creative. So we'll see what happens in this process. But yes, you got to give this guy at least 2 years because he has the potential to be great.
And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how both these guys progress. Also, shout out to our premium members, our crew that is here with us each and every single time. Chat Queen, Kimberly, Walsey, and everyone else. Guys, let's start filling up this chat tonight. And while you guys are sharing your picks for whether it be the Legends Lounge coming up in about 20 minutes or whatever it may be on tonight's game, let's go ahead and let's look at our playmakers. All right, we were just talking about him, so let's start with the quarterback position. Tommy, I'll start with you, the Giants and Jackson Dart. What do you like here for either of these two quarterbacks?
I like passing touchdowns for Jackson Dart there, and anytime touchdown looks good. I don't think he's going to run for a touchdown. I don't think the Giants want him running. I can see the passing yards for both guys going over those totals right there tonight, especially on Drake May's side. Again, about this secondary, they have proved nothing. That a lot of the main guys they signed are out. I'm not sure if they're all back tonight. I haven't heard yet. But 211 for Drake May is a layup, I think, against this the secondary of the Giants, and I think Dart can throw against the Patriots. Those are two big numbers for me tonight.
Raphael, both of these quarterbacks, we've talked about it. You heard Tommy just hit on it. They can use their legs, but if we're just looking at them as gunslingers, which if we watched in week 13, weather plays a factor. It is December 1st. Do you like any of these passing props on either side?
Well, I know the casinos do not want anything going over for Drake May because I think all four of his best popular bets for passing yards, running, completions, and I think over 1.5 touchdowns is probably going to be a huge loss for the books. I like both pass completions for both quarterbacks, 19.5 and 20.5. I know the run game is going to be effective and the run game is probably going to be established early, but I can see both guys just doing it with their arm, just throwing it all over the field. I like both completions on both sides.
I also like the passing completions. I also like passing touchdowns. Tommy, I have to agree with you, not just because you're the godfather and you love your New York Giants, but also because I think I just looked, it's about 30 degrees in Foxborough. But to me, neither of these teams have that bell cow at running back that you can rely on. Cam Scatterbo is in. I believe that they would run the ball more. Now, the Patriots do have two very good young running backs. However, I do like both guys to throw at least 2 touchdowns. You'll get down into the red zone, and I believe we'll see 2 touchdowns there. Uh, quick miss, quick thing we have to acknowledge, and this is on me. The main number is actually 235.5. That is a misprint. Tommy, do you still like Drake May at 235.5? Excuse me.
All day, every day. Yep. I'm not kidding, man. I'm not kidding. I've watched 5 games in a row where they just get eaten up alive, and I don't see it changing.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, the numbers were off about 25, but that's maybe one pass to Stephon Diggs extra, and I think he can easily get that. Raphael, obviously, there was a mistake there, but do you still like Drake May's number there?
I do. It opened up at 242.5. So I think the longer we talk, I think the number could probably drop. I do believe someone has a little bit better number than 235.5. But it's like I still think both quarterbacks have huge games with their arms.
All right, well, I'm not sure if producer man's gonna be able to ride with me here, but Tommy, you thought I wasted some time out of your life earlier. Producer man, before we hit running backs, we're talking about Travion Henderson. We're talking about nameplates. I mean, look at that. That is a real difference on his jersey compared to everybody else.
Wow.
It
5
looks like
minutes of my life I will not get back, folks.
Tommy. Please tell me you at least see the difference.
I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. I
I,
see the difference.
I'm trying to set you up here as a
I
man
know
who
you
knows
are.
that size matters, and you're
Yeah,
not
I
taking
know. I
breaks.
know you are.
If coach was here, you'd be running this all off the rails. I
Size
needed
does
you
matter,
as our
folks.
size king to break it down. That's way
Size
too
does
small.
matter, folks, no matter what they say.
All right, let's look at the running backs in
Bigger
tonight's.
than a breadstick, smaller than a Cadillac. There you go.
So somewhere between a cannoli and a breadstick, you get Travion Henderson. I don't know where we're going here tonight.
I haven't had dinner, guys. I'm starving.
Olive Garden on line 1, Raphael. All right,
Ugh.
let's look at these running backs on the ground. You got Tyrone Tracy and obviously Travion Breadstick Henderson. Tommy, who do you like between these two?
I see rushing attempts. There's going to be definitely more than 12.5 here for Tyrone and also for Trevion Henderson. Also, I think you said the cold weather 30. I think they're going to start out establishing the run and then eventually throwing the ball. I think the ball's going to get thrown around tonight, depending on the wind there and everything like that. I think it's still going to be a high scoring game, but you always have to establish the run. And I like those 2 numbers there for those 2 guys.
Raphael. Now, Travion Henderson, to me, is the lead back. He kind of stole that role while Ramondre Stevenson was out. Is there anything you like on his side of the ball?
I do like his longest rush at 14.5. I think he can break one, maybe around or close to 20 yards tonight. And it's one of my best bets is his rushing and receiving yards. This one's gonna be interesting because if the Patriots are blowing them out early, they're gonna run the ball to try to get out of this Monday night game quickly with no injuries. So keep an eye out for maybe second half prop bets to see what the score is. If it's a high scoring game, then you might want to look at more passing. prop bets. If it's a close game, then maybe the run game in the second half would be very key. So I would definitely look at some of these prop bets at halftime as well, especially to both running backs.
For me, I'm gonna go with Tyrone Tracy, and I feel like everyone thinks I'm just siding with Tommy because he's here and he's a guy, he's got the pinky ring. But just looking at the numbers, I love Travion Henderson. Raphael, I love your best bet of his rushing and receiving yards. But what I am afraid of is, again, it's December, it's cold weather football. The Patriots are on the spotlight, and Mike Vrabel is a guy who's going to stick to his guns. And Mike Vrabel has shown time and time again he likes Ramondre Stevenson. He also loves to do what they did in New England all those years ago, which is a trick play, and some 300-pound lineman is going to get a touchdown, or somebody we've never heard of is going to get a touchdown. So I would say proceed with caution with Travion Henderson. Therefore, I think Tyrone Tracy, smaller number, higher odds, in my opinion. One more side here. We got the wide receivers. Tommy, I mean, I guess it's it's last man standing with Wan'Dale Robinson and Stephon Diggs. The Patriots, they have the name, but they always have a new contributor each and every week. Where are you going here on the wide receivers?
Well, I got to go with Diggs. I mean, between the both of these guys, I mean, it's men against kids here with Wandell going against Stephon Diggs, one of the premier receivers in the game today. And again, and I keep hammering the secondary. Stephon Diggs can have a field day tonight, alongside with Henry and all the other guys that they have. But Diggs is definitely a playmaker. I think he's top 10 in the NFL, and he's on his game this year. He's not fooling around. He's not being an idiot or anything. He's playing very well. I don't see, Wandell receptions. He'll probably get 5. I mean, Dart loves going to him for first downs and everything like that. I mean, receptions made by Diggs, he could do that in the first quarter, guys. I mean, that's amazing right there. That's an amazing number, and he could get 50 or more yards in one shot too. Wandel's is a steady little guy, but Stefan is going to just have a field day tonight. I think and that's why I took him in one of my best bets.
Yeah, and Raphael, looking at the numbers as well, it's surprising to you that Stephon Diggs has the higher number to get 100 receiving yards or more, or is it because the Patriots spread the ball around? How do you approach a guy like Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, they spread the ball around. I like his receptions made 4.5. I also like Henderson's 2.5, and 3.5. You can get both numbers. I like Henry. I like his receiving. I think it's 30. I mean, I just pulled it up. 35 and a half. He's projected anywhere between close to 41, 42. So I think Henry, the tight end's going to have a really, really big game. And if he does have a big game in the first half, then it just makes Diggs and Henderson and everyone else better in the second half because now the tight ends are getting action.
And I'm going to look it up here as we're talking because I'm interested on both of you guys. We've talked about Stephon Diggs at nauseum coming into this game, but when you mentioned the fact that the Patriots do spread the ball around, a guy that, and I'm not being a child here, but Kayshon Boutte, who I love, and you'll hear more about him in 20 minutes or so. And then you have Demario Douglas, who is so hot and cold. One day he has 4 receptions, 100 plus yards, and a touchdown. And then the next game, it's 2 catches for 25 yards. Raphael, start with you. How do you look at these other wide receivers? We know who the main guys are, but how do you look at the other wide receivers if you're the public?
You look at the other wide receivers if you like the over. If you think it's going to be an under game, then you think it's not going to be targeted as the other guys. You think Diggs and Henderson and all the other guys are going to be targeted if it's going to be a low scoring game. I think high scoring game means the ball is being spread around by May and by Dart. So I like multiple people to score touchdowns. That's why I think this total is very key, moving it now to 47. When shock me if we see a 47.5. I think the ball gets spread around all over the place.
And Tommy, talking on the Giants side, we're sitting here with Wan'Dale Robinson. What about Theo Johnson?
Theo Johnson makes some big play. Look at one of their top guys. They've been going deep to is Hodgkin, the guy who came off the practice squad from the Steelers. He's like the Giants' top receiver. He's their deep guy because Darius Slayton is. I'm not a big Slayton fan. Hyatt can't even run a route right. So this guy comes off the scrap heap and he becomes the star of the team. So it'd be Theo, Bellinger, he's got hands of stone. I remember when they got Bellinger, they called him the next Bavaro. Are you kidding me? You are embarrassing Mark Bavaro when you talk about Bellinger, who's got hands of stone, can't even catch 10-yard balls, 5-yard balls. Hodgkins could be the big guy here, going deep. Slayton never fights for the ball ever. It's just it's pathetic without me, without our star in there. So it's
I like
pathetic.
Tyrone Tracy. I think he's got. I mean, didn't he catch like for like 60 plus yards in his last
Yeah,
game? I think
Singletary too. Singletary can
yeah,
catch
I
out of the
think them
backfield
two could
also.
be very surprising
Yeah,
coming out of the backfield to catch some screen passes and extend some plays. So if you can get a good number on him, I would look at him.
yep.
Raphael, very well done. Also, thank you for going inside of my brain because that's where I was coming to Tommy next. Is we've talked about the running backs, but there is that other side. If you don't believe Wandale Robinson will have a 100-yard game or Theo Johnson may get locked up, this kind of calls for a bunch of dump downs to Tracy and, like you said, Devin Singletary.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know Tracy's, he's tricky, man. He makes things happen when he catches the ball. He has some pretty good moves. He doesn't have the greatest speed. I think Singletary's much faster than him, but I think Tracy's the tougher runner. So I think the Giants will lean more on Tracy tonight than they will Singletary. But if you want that kick 5 yard out and then trying to get some moves, it's got to be Singletary all day, every day. But Wandale's going to be probably Dart's best friend tonight besides Theo Johnson also.
Who's also his best friend. It's funny how that works. Yes,
That's
Raphael.
right,
Go.
and he is. He really is his best friend. Yeah.
What Tommy said earlier, what did we all hear all week that they don't want Dart running? So if he's not running to get first downs,
Yep.
what's he going to be doing? Dumping it to the running backs coming off, and they're going to do the work. So keep an eye out for that.
Guys, we still have to get to Ball Don't Lie and the Legends Lounge. But Tommy, I want to ask you this because I'm not going to talk about the Bears, but I'm going to talk about the Bears for a second. I went through this last year, kind of what you were going through, where in season coaching change, very excited about the guy who's taking over and the interim title. As a lifer Giants fan, what do you want to see out of Mike Kafka? And do you leave the door open to say, impress me enough, and maybe I'll vouch for you as that next head coach?
Look, I've watched his press conferences. I think he's a really smart. He's a young guy. I think he's an offensive coordinator who's got a lot of creativity, but he's got to grow Jackson Dart, and he's got like 6 or 7 games to do that for the Mariners and upper management to say this could be our guy because you got to build around Dart right now. We haven't had a quarterback since Eli, as we all know. We've had a bunch of jabroni as coaches. I think Kafka could be the guy. I know they're going to be doing a lot of interviewing, but Kafka already there. And if they win a couple of games in a row, and if Dart likes him, he could be a mainstay. And I don't have a problem with that. I just want a really good defensive coordinator. We spent a ton of money on defense, and they're not showing up at all. And that's partly because of Shane Bonehead Bowen didn't have this attacking defense when he has attacking guys on the ends, and they just don't do it.
Yeah, I would think when you have a dominant pass rush, you would want to rush the passer.
Rush the passer, maybe?
It's just a
Very good.
wild concept.
Yes.
Wild concept. And I'll say that from my vantage point as a fan, I was pounding the table. I said Chicago needs to go get it, Kayvon Thibodeau. And then, they had a guy who tore his Achilles and they lost out on their free agent signing. And the Giants were like, no, we're not trading him. Then use him. I just can't imagine being a top pass rusher or a young pass rusher playing for a second contract and your team's going, we don't want to play you. We don't want to let you loose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask this of both of you guys. And Tommy, going back to you here, we just talked about Mike Kafka, the biggest story all weekend. Doesn't matter about what happened in the NFL, what happened in any other sport. It was Lane Kiffin. He dominated the headlines. Now that he's done and spoken for, and he's going to LSU, are you happy that the rumors of Kiffin and reuniting with Jackson Dart are over?
Yeah, I think the Kiffin is a big piece of crap. I don't know how you do. No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be really funny here. I think what you did to those players at Ole Miss is a travesty. This team had a potential to really, they could win a national championship. I'm not sure if they could. I'm not a big college guy. I don't know a lot about college, but he brought that team a long way. 6 years. You've been with him all that time, and then you leave. Oh man, that's just piss poor, guys. That is just amazing what you're so self-centered that you don't give a crap about your players, your team, and what you did to that team is just a travesty.
And Raphael, before I come over to you, I got to throw this at Tommy because Tommy, I don't know if you heard, but in his new contract with LSU, they're going to pay him out for Ole Miss's college football playoff success. So his new boo thing is going. Oh, they succeeded. Here you go. We'll pay you for that.
Oh
How
my God.
asinine is that?
Oh, it's ridiculous. How does this happen? And how can LSU poach him like that during the season? Can that happen, Raphael? It did
Yeah,
happen, but there's
it
no
could.
rules here. There are no
No,
rules in the
I mean,
NCAA about this.
Florida did the same thing with Tulane's head coach Summerall. He's doing both. I totally understand where time is coming with the Giants' point of view and Ole Miss's point of view, but I'm going to go with Big Chuck's point of view, and I hope he's not watching. This is a disgrace for what LSU. The governor went on national TV and just bashed Brian Kelly's contract. Oh, I'm going to approve the next head coach. And now Kiffin gets a better contract than Brian Kelly. And he's going to get 80% of his buyout if he wants to coach Alabama in 3 years. Because if Alabama's job opens up, Kiffin's jumping LSU ship to go to his Alabama. I just don't. I'm more upset what LSU did. They today, Monday, December 1st, was their last payment. They just paid Coach O. They still pay him Brian Kelly, and now they're paying Kiffin. It's a disgrace. LSU, if they don't win a national championship every year, it should be a disgrace.
Very well said, Raphael. I kind of look at this Lane Kiffin situation as like a parent with two kids, right? The one kid crashed the car, and you tell both of them, well, we can't afford a new car, we can't afford a better car. But then the other kid is doing all right around the house, and you go, oh, here's a nicer car. Like, wait, what the hell? You just said we couldn't afford it. Why did we crash Brian Kelly to get Lane Kiffin? But I think when it all comes down to it, guys, a lot of us, not me, but a lot of us feel Lane Kiffin has been a buster, but he's not the only one. It's time to get into our boom and our bust of the week. All right, Raphael, when you are breaking records and you are the Buffalo Bills on the road, who is your boom of the week?
It's the Bills' running game, and that's including the quarterback. It's everyone who handed the ball off in Buffalo that ran through the AKA former Steel Curtain defense. Steelers learned to tackle. It was so bad. Even my mom, I was watching this game with my mom who can't see, who's blind, and she can see the missed tackles that these guys were doing. 249 rushing yards. James Cook had 144 rushing yards. It was a disgrace. And last time I checked, this game was in Pittsburgh. It wasn't at Buffalo, so you did it on their field. Give me a break, Pittsburgh.
Tommy, who's your boom of the week?
My boom of the week is the one you probably would have taken if I didn't take it. The Carolina Panthers, they put a beat down on the Rams. And I don't know why you guys didn't show up last Monday to show you all these young stars that they have, but you decided to show up this Sunday. You beat the Rams. You helped the Bears out. My man Mikey P loves it. And Carolina, they have a young team, a young quarterback, and they are going to be good for years to come, guys.
I'm not going to talk about the Bears. I'm not going to talk. Yes, I'm not. I do want to say, though, on the week in which I am scheduled to go get my good, better, best tattoo is the same week they clinched the number one seed right now. I'm not saying miracles happens or things work in mysterious ways, but they do. Guys, my boom of the week, I'm looking at the AFC South and the Houston Texans defense coming off a 10-sack performance of Josh Allen and CJ Stroud looked absolutely average. It didn't matter. They held the Colts to 16 points. Jonathan Taylor under 100 yards rushing. We were talking about this guy as an MVP. And now, even after Davis Mills came in and started, I believe, 3 games, the Texans are at 7-5, and the AFC South. We've been so focused on what's happening in the AFC North, but the AFC South is now once again wide open. So, tip of the cap, D'Amico Ryans and that defense, they're a real problem. But for every boom, there is a bust. Raphael, who's your bust of the week?
There's a team in your division that made me laugh all Sunday. Minnesota Vikings, what are you doing? You let go Sam Donald after he did horrible things in the playoffs in the last 2 weeks of regular season, and then you let it come and just crush you. And he didn't even have a good game. The final score 26-0. Max Brosmer, I don't know how you want to pronounce this, 4 interceptions. His passing rate was 5.6, 32.8. It was disgrace to watch Minnesota play football this weekend. I thought I was watching a high school team. I rather flew back to New Orleans, watched Grambling versus Southern than watch Minnesota play in the NFL. It was disgrace to watch that game.
Rafi from the top rope. Listen, I love it. I saw a stat when you talk about the Vikings over the last 2 weeks. JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer, their quarterback rating was lower than if you just took a snap on every play on offense and spiked the ball. You would have a higher quarterback rating in an entire game than those two have had over those past 2 weeks. Raphael, great job. Tommy, who's your bust of the week?
I'm going to play charades with you guys. I'm going to give you a bunch of charades. You tell me if you can guess. This person here is a self-centered, arrogant, living in a dark room, loving my own statistics, and throwing my team under the bus. Can you guys guess who that is?
Tommy, I'm right here.
Living in a dark room.
He's not even here. He's not even here, Tommy. Jeez.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers. That's who I'm talking about. I love me some numbers. I love staying in a dark room for a month, and I love throwing my team under the bus when I'm doing a press conference. It's all over, Aaron. You're over 40. You're terrible. Take a friggin' hike. Go sit in a dark room for another month. Nobody can give a crap. Just terrible, the things that this guy does, man.
You know, I feel the same way, Tommy. I really do. Not only because it's Aaron Rodgers, not only because he's from the NFC North, but that's exactly where I'm staying, just like Raphael, for my bust of the week. And I got to say it on Friday, but I'm going to say it again. Dan Campbell, stop showing your ass. How many times on a big game in a national spotlight where everyone goes, man, the Lions, what a resurgence. They're doing so well. Take the points. If we're going to go all the way back to Thursday night football, it says Thursday afternoon football, guys. I go back to they were down by 10. He wants to go for it on fourth and goal. Just take the points and have your next possession be for a touchdown. The game-tying touchdown, by the way. Dan Campbell is going to cost himself his job, and the Detroit Lions, for as fun as they've been for the past 3 or 4 years, I think it's time to credit and give it where it's due. Mr. Ben Johnson, how do you do? Take your shirt off in the locker room after you knock off the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, do we believe Dan Campbell's going to be in Detroit? Raphael, start with you for the foreseeable future.
Oof. I mean, if they don't win, make the playoffs at all, then we're going to hear, because let's face it, I think the Steelers are going to be maybe letting go of their head coach. And if you're the Giants or the Lions, he ain't going to go coach no crappy team. If the Steelers let go one of the greatest Pittsburgh Steelers head coaches and he was looking for another job, I think he wants to go to a team that has stuff built around him. And that'd be a great position to go to Detroit.
Tommy, they have weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he got hurt, but Jahmyr Gibbs is showing to be one of the best running backs. What is Dan Campbell doing wrong each and every week?
I just think they're not gelling well at all, and I don't think Dan Campbell's going anywhere. I think he's a great coach. He's a great motivator. I like him being a hothead. I think he's pretty creative offensively. I think Detroit would be crazy to let him go. If I'm the Giants, I'd be the first one. And he's an ex-Giant, by the way. He was a tight end for the Giants. I would jump at Dan Campbell in a moment's notice. I think he's going nowhere. I think the team's having a hard time gelling this year. And that's what happens to great teams sometimes. You can't figure it out, guys. This is the NFL. There's so much parity in this league this year, more than ever we're seeing ever in a long time. Ask Kansas City Chiefs about it.
He's not here. He's not here again, Tommy.
How many
times have to say that?
We're getting it all out while he's not here.
He's listening.
I hope not, because now I'm worried about my post-show meeting I'm going to have. No, but Tommy, I want Dan Campbell to be the head coach of the Giants because when he goes for it 19 times in a row on fourth down. I want to hear what you have to say when he goes 1 of 19. I don't think he wants the wrath of Tommy C if he goes over to New York. I think there's going to come a time where, hey, thank you for all that you've done. But Detroit is not like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like you said, Raphael, where they're not a franchise that can lean on their history. It's, hey, man, you've gotten us this far, but you're not getting us over the hump. And if he continues to do this 0 for 5 on fourth down against Philly in a game they had to have, embarrassing, Dan Campbell. All right, guys. One of my favorite times of Monday nights. Oh, Robbie, you're not even bobbing and weaving. So I already know how this is going to go. It's time for a little ball don't lie between these two. All right, Raphael, I will start with you. Question number 1. The Giants and Patriots all time are tied 7-7 in their series matchup.
Wow. I made that said the last time I played, I think it was 2023, was a 10-7 game, but that Super Bowl game with a Giant. I'm going to say it's true.
Tommy?
Say that again. Say the question again, Mikey.
The Giants and Patriots all time in their series are tied 7-7.
False.
Producer man, where's my It's true, Tommy. 7-7 between these two historic franchises, which brings us to question number 2. I can't do that. For as great as these two franchises are, does the ball lie? This is the first ever Monday Night Football matchup between the Patriots and Giants.
I'm going to say false.
Tommy?
I know they played Sunday night, but did they play Monday night? I'm going to say true.
1-1. Tommy C on the board. And this is for all the marbles. And I know one person on this crew. Yeah, he probably knows it. Producer man probably knows this answer. The Patriots playing at home in Foxborough, where they have had Tom Brady's legacy for 15, 20 years. They have sold out every home game since the 1990 season.
Wow.
I'm going to say no.
Tommy?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, Tommy! It's a little bit of a gotcha. It's 1994, so not 35 years, but approaching. That's still a hell of a record.
Yes.
And,
here's my 30 down flex.
I don't even want a gimmick infringement, but what are we doing? What are we doing? You can't do a dirty Dom flex without a neck tattoo. All right.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Anything I want to see, it's Raphael with a neck tattoo.
You are correct. You are 100% correct on that one.
I can't have it. You know what though? You've been in the lounge. I think you could flex. Gentlemen, before we get out of here, we've all been there. We've actually been there so much. There is a reason why Coach is not here today, because this is VIP only. Let's get back inside the Legends Lounge. All right. I don't go about it the way that Coach goes about it because, quite frankly, I don't give a damn about anybody's feelings. So I don't care if you've been in 5 times or 1 time. I am going to start with the people who are here. And no, I was not taking a shot. Raphael, get us started. Where are you at?
I saw the funniest pick six over the weekend with the Vikings and Seahawks game. The pick six took like 25 minutes to get in the end zone. But today's pick six that gets me into the lounge again, give me the Patriots special teams to get me into the lounge at 25-1.
Big Tommy, I know you're a Giants guy, so I know you're obviously not picking a Patriot. And sometimes when you're in the club and you got your pinky ring, you don't want to just be there for you. You want to bring in your best friend or maybe Jackson Dart's best friend. Who are you going with tonight?
I'm going with Theo Johnson plus 1,600. I'll be in the lounge tonight. Miss Kimmy will be there. Walls will be there with his velvet robe on. You guys will be there. We're going to get our drink on, and hopefully the coach will be there.
Well,
Theo Johnson plus 1,600.
Gonna be parking our cars.
Raphael from the top rope. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because coach isn't here, but I guess I'll never be hosting again if you're taking all these shots. You know, speaking of taking shots and who's going to be in the club and who's not going to be in the lounge, you know what is going to be in the lounge, folks? Some booty. A little Kayshawn Booty. Give me Kayshawn Booty, the former LSU wide receiver, to get me back in for the for the third time this season. Listen, this guy is so hit or miss that I had to pick up the phone and call him. I don't have a pinky ring, more like a ring pop. I said, dude, I said, get it together. All right. I said, national TV, Monday Night Grind, Monday Night Football, get me back in the lounge. So I'm going with Kayshawn Booty, the wide receiver of the New England Patriots. Producer man is on Drake May. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. And then coach, not here, but Devin Singletary. Because it honestly, we kind of got the pick a little late from coach, but that's not a horrible pick, Tommy.
No, not at all. No. But I know if we're 10 yards or out or 15 from the goal line, he loves going to Theo Johnson, man. That's his touchdown guy.
All right, so Tommy does not want coach into the lounge. He just slammed the door shut on that one. EG is on Hunter Henry. Soupy on Jackson Dart. Oh, my. Like, you'd have to balance it out, Tommy. Who would you want Soupy in with Jackson Dart, or do you want to just get in with Jackson Dart's best friend? So Soupy on the Giants, very versatile quarterback, and Mark Wallace, Wandale Robinson with an apostrophe. I mean, listen, this guy, he's the only outside of Theo Johnson. He's the go-to target there in New York. So those are our picks for the Legends Lounge. You can join up with us. The link is in the chat. Thank you to producer man. I know Walsey, I believe he said he's been in 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
Hold
Wow.
my beer. First of all, Walsey, we don't serve beer around these parts. This is a lounge. We're classy. Did you not see Tommy's ring? Did you not see that?
No, there's no beer in the lounge.
Oh, beer.
Terramana tequila, man.
By the way, 1 Miller Lite here, please, for the young pup. That's about all I can afford these days. So those are our picks for the Legends Lounge. And coach, we'll save you a water on the outside. All right, guys, this has been fun. I think we kept it on the rails for the most part. I'm not sure. But before we get out of here, because we know some people just getting off of work, probably had to go back to work, after the holiday weekend, hating their Monday. But we got a very good Monday Night Football matchup. So let's lock it in with our bets for tonight. Big Tommy, you're up. Go.
Giants Pats over total points 46.5 minus 112. Stephon Diggs receiving yards 50 plus minus 117. And this is the night where Abdul Carter could really show up and have a big game on a Monday night and show that he can get after the quarterback.
Raphael, what do you got?
We got the Giants, Patriots. Both teams have scored 20 plus points at plus 120. New England has done it 9 straight times. The Giants 7 straight times. I think points would be plenty hitting the scoreboard tonight. And then give me Trayvon Henderson over 82.5 rushing and receiving yards. I think he's got a big game on the ground and on the receiving side.
And I've got 4 plays here for you. I think we're going to see a lot of points, and I also think we're going to see a offensive showing by the New England Patriots. I'm sorry, Tommy. Give me the Patriots minus 4.5 in the first half. That was at plus money. I'm not sure if that line moved before kickoff. And then give me Jackson Dart over 238.5 pass and rushing yards. The Giants need offense from somewhere, and it's going to come from their young quarterback. So I like him to go for at least, honestly, I could see him going for 250. And then Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown. Travion Henderson is the RB1 in New England now. But Mike Vrabel has his guys, and Ramondre Stevenson is one of those guys. And so I like him to find the end zone tonight, and then everyone's favorite, little play on words bonus play. Drake's Mayday Payday Parlay. Give me Drake May over 237.5 passing yards, over 20.5 passing completions, and over 1.5 touchdown. Those three bundled together, it's a plus 145. All right, fellas, thank you for allowing me to, I think, steer this ship. I'm not sure if we're hitting an iceberg or where the hell we're going from here, but it was a fun time. Please,
Great
please,
job, Mikey. Great
please,
job.
please. We'll wrap it up with our final takes. Raphael, what do you got?
I think it's gonna be a much closer game than I think the betting public is doing. I'm almost 85% of tickets coming in on the Patriots, over 80% of tickets coming in on the over. I think we'll see a much closer game. I can see Patriots winning maybe by 4 points or less. I like the over, and I like the Giants to cover.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Giants cover. They don't cover a lot, but I think this is a big time Monday night game where Jackson Dart wants to show up and Abdul Carter needs to show up, and this could be the game. So national audience watching him. I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks. And let's just hope the Giants show up and they play in the fourth quarter because there are 4 quarters to a game, guys.
Tommy. You are the godfather. I was gonna be respectful. I don't know if you've heard about Kiss Up Mountain and how Mikey P operates around this brand, but this is no Fugazi. I was going to give you the last word right here, right now, but you stole it. So I'll go ahead and I'll say this. The Giants are a team filled with young talent you've never heard of, but they also have one of the best pass rushes in all the NFL. And I would love, as a football fan, to start seeing Abdul Carter put a quarterback on his ass. However, I would also like to see Drake May run all over the field. What we have tonight is not a battle of a 10-2 team against a 2-10 team. We have a battle of two historic franchises with very young talent and building blocks for the next 4 to 5 seasons. And I think that's how we should look at this game. A game I think will be very entertaining. Gentlemen, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mikey. Great job, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you to producer man behind the scenes. As always, Coach, if you did not like the way this went, I'm not sorry. I think the people are going to be calling for more Mikey P moving forward. Thank you to everyone in the chat, Abass, Walsey, Chat Queen, Kimberly, every single one of you who make this possible here at the brand. For everybody here at the brand, I am Mike Pendleton. We will see you tomorrow morning. Coach and Company, YouTube channel, Stadium, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, everywhere you consume us. We are just happy that you do. 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you tomorrow.